Welcome back to our podcast discussion, folks. Today, we're delving into the nuanced role of referees in volleyball and beach volleyball, especially focusing on the delicate balance between authority and authoritarianism.
Yeah, it's such an interesting distinction. The idea that a referee can project authority without coming off as overly authoritarian is pretty essential for a fair game, right?
Absolutely. You see, authority here is all about leadership. It's like, um, guiding the match with a confident posture and command, making sure every player respects the rules without intruding too much.
Yeah, right. And that's where the referee comes in almost as a teacher or facilitator, isn't it? They ensure that the game flows smoothly while still empowering the athletes to perform.
Exactly. It's like, um, they need to lead by example, almost like a silent conductor in an orchestra, where you feel the presence, but the show is still all about the players.
And I love how the document makes it clear that while authority involves emotional control and empathy, authoritarianism is more about imposition through force or rigidity.
Yes, that's such a crucial difference. Authority is based on positive traits: leadership, empathy, and balance. It helps athletes feel protected and respected. It's like, um, handing out guidance rather than
Right.
commands, right?
On that note, did you notice the part where it highlights that the referee shouldn't overshadow the game? They need to be in the background while still ensuring that the rules are respected.
Indeed. They're encouraged to be competent, fair, and consistent, which not only builds trust with the athletes, but also makes the game more attractive for the
Yep.
audience.
But here's a question. Sometimes, can a certain level of assertiveness tip into authoritarianism? Isn't it a slippery slope if referees get too involved?
That's a great point. While it's important for a referee to exhibit strength and decisiveness, if they cross the line into being overbearing, using harsh tones, or projecting an image of abuse of power, they risk generating an atmosphere of tension and dissent among the players.
Exactly, because then the athletes start resisting or opposing decisions, and that can lead to demotivation and a negative perception of the referee.
Right. It's almost like comparing a skilled coach who inspires versus a tyrant who imposes. The former nurtures trust and respect, while the latter creates conflict and frustration.
And that clearly affects the overall environment of the match. When athletes feel safe and respected, they perform better, and the audience gets a more captivating show.
Totally. Think of it as a balance. Like when you're baking a cake, you need the perfect mix of ingredients. Too much firmness, and the cake's texture suffers. Too little, and it just falls apart. It's about balance, flexibility, and understanding the player's emotions.
Yeah, exactly. I can see that. And the document also emphasizes that referees are not merely enforcers of rules, they're also promoters of the sport, almost like ambassadors of beach volleyball.
Precisely. They have to wear multiple hats: a teacher, a promoter, and an administrator. Their objective is to maintain a smooth, fair, and enjoyable match, all while building the sport's popularity.
Right. It's interesting because when referees strike the right balance, it really elevates the sport, making matches not just contests of skill, but also attractive events that draw in crowds.
Yes, and that ties directly into the psychological aspects mentioned. Authority involves positive leadership, emotional control, empathy, and a balanced approach. These qualities help athletes see the rules as legitimate rather than oppressive.
I get that, but I have a question. Do you think there's a risk that too much emphasis on being in the background might sometimes let the referee lose control of the match?
That's a valid concern. However, remember, it's not about being invisible. It's more about being assertively present without demanding constant attention. The referee must always be ready to step in decisively when the rules are at risk of being compromised.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it requires that fine touch between showing enough authority to command respect, yet staying out of the spotlight, so that the players remain the main focus.
Exactly, and that's what challenges many referees, especially at the international level. They have to project competence and leadership without shifting the attention away from the athletes.
Right, absolutely. And the fact that athletes need to see the referee as fair and consistent is so critical. When they do, it encourages mutual respect and a smoother game flow.
Yeah, that's key. It's about cultivating an environment where the athletes fully trust the process and understand that rules are there to protect the game's integrity, not to
Mm-hmm.
control every move.
It almost reminds me of a well-directed play in a theater production. The director is there to guide, not to overshadow. The actors, no matter how central they are to the storyline, need to shine.
Exactly. That's a great analogy. Think of the referee as the director who creates the stage settings, ensuring that the performance goes smoothly while letting the players perform their art.
Absolutely. And when the referee demonstrates authoritarian behavior, the whole dynamic shifts. It's like a director who insists on controlling every tiny detail, stifling the creativity and spontaneity of the actors.
Yes, and that stifling not only makes the game less enjoyable, but can also lead to resistance and even reduce the sport's popularity among fans.
Right, for sure. Now, we should also touch on how emotional control plays into this. A referee with solid emotional control can handle volatile situations without letting their personal emotions influence their decisions.
Yeah, that's so important. Emotional control, coupled with empathy, means the referee can understand what the athlete is feeling without being swayed by it. This balance ensures that each decision is fair, not colored by impulsive reactions.
Mm-hmm. And that's fundamental for maintaining the credibility of the match. When players know the referee reacts calmly and fairly, they're more likely to adhere to the rules and respect the process.
Precisely. Plus, it also boosts the audience's confidence in the sport. A well conducted game, where the referee is authoritative but not authoritarian, builds trust and makes the match more engaging.
Yeah. So overall, the document seems to be advising referees to be a sort of supportive yet decisive presence, someone who guides the game without being the center of attention, ensuring fairness and excitement.
Exactly. It's a call for positive leadership in sports officiating. Referees need to be adept at balancing firm decision making with sensitivity, ensuring the game remains both competitive and enjoyable.
Right on. And when referees master that balance, it's a win-win. Athletes perform better, the audience stays engaged, and the sport continues to grow internationally.
Well said. It's like the ultimate backstage role that, when done correctly, elevates the whole performance without ever stealing the spotlight.
Absolutely. This, in turn, fosters a climate of respect and trust, not only on the court, but also among fans and broader sporting communities.
Without a doubt. And that, folks, is the art of refereeing, leading with authority while always remembering to keep the real stars of the show, the players, at the center.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for the deep dive today. This discussion really brings home the importance of balanced refereeing in making sports both fair and exciting.
Absolutely. It's a testament to the subtle yet powerful influence that excellent officiating can have on the game. Thanks for listening, everyone. Until next time, keep enjoying the game.